everyone.
Good
Good morning. How's it all going? Apologies for being late. Ties take time.
We are who we are.
We are who we are. Oh, thank you for grabbing that. Oh, right. So, welcome to Book Buffet, but also welcome to the Media Madness.
Oh, we should get a theme song next year.
We'll work on it. If you kind of like if you have been following, Media Madness is our traditional event that we do in March. It's kind of hand in hand inspired with March Madness, but instead of phenomenal athletes going up against each other,
and finishing in April.
That's right. Because why do we call it March Madness?
The madness part does happen in March. By April, it's
I think it starts in March. Anyway,
it starts in March,
yeah.
And it's very mad. By April, it's calmed down. It's just
Yeah.
the final four.
Right. Well, our competition, we're true to form. It's in March.
It's all March.
And only March.
Nice and tight, clean.
Yeah. But instead of athletes, we pit books, movies, video games, and music up against each other. And these are all things that you can get through your library. And they were all items that came out in 2024, or the Christmas season of 2024, as we have discussed in previous ones. But if you've been following along, or if you have not, we have every week been going over each new round of the matchups, and we are finally on our championship matchup.
Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Started yesterday, will end today.
Yes. So this week has been a firecracker of a week. Our Final Four was announced on Monday in person, and we did a stream Tuesday on that one, and it was only 2 days of voting for that. The championship matchup was announced in person yesterday, and you're only able to vote today. So shall we go into who is in our championship lineup?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Hopefully, also, I have done this right. I have. All right. Ooh, look at that. And look at us now moving on the thing. Hello.
Back.
You had a glimpse of me as I was setting things up. Hello, Purple Mod. Glad to have you here. So our Final Four matchups, this was the first time that before books were versus books, games were versus games. Now this was the first time where we had the actual content matching up.
Yeah, what you're seeing there is the top.
Yes.
In each category.
The top of each category. So our first matchup was Heartless Hunter, which was a young adult novel, sort of like a romantasy, cat and mouse, sort of enemies to lovers type of a story. And that was up against Game of the Year Astrobot. And if you see there, the votes were very close. Very close. And that was probably the best that we've ever had our books do.
Which I think just romantasy is having a moment.
It really is. So is the enemies to lovers thing.
Yeah.
It held its own.
Yeah.
So good job, Heartless Hunter. I am sorry to see you go, but we have Astrobot, so hey.
Adorable one out.
Adorable one. The other matchup was GNX by Kendrick Lamar up against Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. So we've had, very strong musical artists versus two gigantic 400-foot monsters.
Yeah.
And that one was not close in any way.
No.
Kendrick Lamar absolutely came out on top of that. So that means that our championship matchup is not that button, but this one. There we go.
Yes, we've got our...
Yeah, we have them up there. So we have Kendrick Lamar versus Astrobot.
I would say we got two cutie patooties in the championship.
Yeah.
One's a robot and one is a rapper.
That's right. Now, I did forget this, but I wanted to share it because I thought it was such a great take. If you are upset that Heartless Hunter did not make it into the championship, our tiebreaker was a fellow staff member named Natalie, whose decision on it, she was like, I normally would have gone for a book. However, It feels as though it is better to choose an adorable robot over a potentially toxic romantic relationship. And I thought that was a great take.
Yeah.
So
let's go with
let's go with Astrobot, let's go with adorable, and now we have two adorableness, so it is the battle of adorable, I suppose.
Yeah.
So let's go for it. So if you are very passionate about this, or even if you're not, if you're even vaguely interested, now's the time to vote. So you can vote several different ways. If you are watching us on the stream right now, you can simply just put it in the chat that you want either Kendrick Lamar or Astrobot. We will keep a note of it, and we will add it to the thingums, the logs. You know how it is. Roll. You can also follow, there is a link that I just put into the chat that goes to a blog explaining Media Madness and also all the different ways that you can vote. This is the only day that you can match up. All right, we gotta vote for Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I think 2024 was the year of Kendrick.
I will say, Kendrick Lamar is very comfortable in place right now, but that does not mean that somebody can't be very strongly passionate and vote everywhere they possibly can, and maybe Astrobot will come out on top. We don't know. But if you want to know who the winner is, so voting goes until today. So
basically,
really,
in person until 9 p.m. today.
Yes.
You can obviously still vote online and on our socials anytime you access them.
Yeah.
But basically tomorrow morning when we come into work.
Yep, that's pretty much the cutoff.
That will be,
so we have an online form that you can vote on. You can vote on any of the comments of our social posts. It's just let's go. Let's get some good votes in here. If you're in person, you can put stickers on a piece of paper. That's where our voting is. It's in our teen area. It's going to be a fun little race. Yeah. So please vote. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see who it is. And if you are watching in person in the library, we are announcing the winner tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. We'll have a beautiful.
We'll have a big thing.
Poster printed out.
So some form of something.
Yes.
However, we will be announcing the winner on Twitch on Monday, April 1st.
No, Tuesday.
April right,
1st.
It is Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been saying Monday this whole time. Anyway.
Well, it feels like, first of the month.
April
Monday.
1st. It's on April 1st. That's not the thing that's wrong. But it is on Tuesday, April 1st, and that will be during our Let's Play stream where we Let's Play something mischievous. We're going to be playing the Untitled Goose Game. I am very excited. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we will start it off by announcing who the winner is, and then we will get straight into the fun times. Sound great? Okay. Well,
Perfect.
it's also, since this has been very well inspired, let's see, click, there we go. Since this has been inspired by March Madness, we are going to be talking now about, so this is Book Buffet. This is where we pick a theme and we go and grab books about that theme and then we talk about it. So we're going to talk about basketball.
Yes, and it's funny because do you know what else today is?
What is today?
It is the opening day of the baseball.
That's hilarious. The baseball.
Oh, baseball season.
Also, we don't need this right now.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done with that.
Oh,
good.
Stuff at me.
It's just.
But yeah, it is baseball opening day. I'm not a baseball person.
I have to put these
Not
on
baseball
later,
human.
so I'm not fully untying that.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I'm cute.
So I won't be following any baseball.
Yeah.
But it is funny that it's opening day, but we're still talking about basketball.
I
It's
mean,
still
there
March
are many
Madness.
sports that overlap. You know, like that's a factor, and there's also like it's different like levels
Yes.
of stuff. So this is professional baseball
Yes.
versus college basketball,
basketball.
which both very big deals for people who care about those things.
We're gonna keep it with basketball.
Yeah, we
and
are.
I've selected basketball books. We have basketball books. If you just want to read a book about the history of basketball, memoirs and autobiographies of famous basketball players, there are several on LeBron. There are several on Michael Jordan. We have those. I've picked out some different options.
Yes. I am excited.
Maybe ones that you aren't familiar with,
Uh-huh.
don't know about.
Yeah, these are more, some of these are, well, like, this one's, like, a
There's
memoir-ish.
three nonfiction.
Yeah.
There's 3 graphic novel.
Ish.
Yeah.
You'll see.
There's
You'll
customers.
see. So,
But yeah, these are basketball books that maybe you wouldn't think of. But
Yeah,
there's
which
some
is
information
grand.
about basketball.
All right, so how should we start?
How should we start?
Well, let's start there.
Yeah, have you read that one? Because I have not.
I've not read this one yet. This is Dragon Hoops by Jean Luen Yang. I have not read it. However, I have been in the room with the author as he talked about it.
Sure.
So,
There we go.
So that's like, how close can you get? Jean Luen Yang is a very popular, he's a graphic novelist. He's very well known for making books that like represent a certain viewpoint, I guess. The ties were a funny bit. Thank you very
We can
much.
now acknowledge they were a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit, and it will continue to be one during this thing. So this Jean Luen Yang takes like his personal experiences and sort of presents them in stories that represent like his culture and like his sort of experience as I believe that he is a Chinese American.
Did he write American Born Chinese?
That he did write
Okay.
American Born Chinese.
That's
he
what
also
I've
wrote
read.
Boxers and Saints.
Sure.
So like if you read those, they're very sort of like the
Chinese
experience.
mythology
Yeah, the
and
Chinese mythology and like the
tying
Chinese
it
American
into, like, his-
experience in that
yeah.
way. So in this, he kind of fell in love with basketball and so desperately wanted to play basketball, and it took a lot overall. And he was like, my personal dreams didn't necessarily line out with what actually happened in my lifetime, but this is sort of like a journey of his through basketball and but also in comics and everything else too. So this is his memoir, but it is of a basketball team. So if you're sort of like somebody who's just like, you never really got sports, but you kind of wanted to understand, or like have somebody like be able to explain it to you in a way that you just get it, this is actually a phenomenal take on it.
Cool.
It is quite large, but it is also a graphic novel.
Yeah.
So it goes a lot faster. It also goes through and explains aspects of basketball, and makes it very accessible. There's discussions of historical basketball teams, as well as like different, we have women in basketball as well. So it's a big overview while still being an absolute love letter to this sport. So it's absolutely on my to-read list, simply so that I can understand why people like things, but also
Why do people like things?
why do people like things? Which I'm passionate about people's
I
passions.
love when someone else loves something. It makes
Yeah.
it so much more enjoyable to hear
It's
about.
so much more fun.
From them.
Yeah, and it's like I love he's like, I'm just this nerdy little kid who loves, comics and
superheroes.
everything, and he's just like, but lately I overheard conversations about basketball in the halls, and I'm intrigued. They're talking about sports like nerds, and he's awake at night because of it. Because really, sports fans are nerds. You're sports nerds, which embrace the joy of loving the thing that you love. And this is somebody who's like, I stereotypically am not somebody who would love basketball, but I do.
Yeah.
So let me share it with you.
And this one we have shelved in our graphic novels upstairs, which is
Yes.
technically our adult graphic novel.
But it's totally appropriate across the board. Yeah.
We have definitely recommended this to kids. I would say, middle school, high school definitely.
You're actually lucky that it's here, because it was checked out not that long ago.
Yeah. But he usually does write for teenagers.
Yeah.
For the young adult crowd. So
He's a great author. I think he's really, really good. And very thoughtful
Yeah.
personality. I've actually met him several times, and been in the same area several times through like conferences and things. And he's always an interesting person to listen to. So if you look like up videos and interviews and stuff with him, worth the time.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
We're gonna talk about a similar thoughtful look at basketball. I have There's Always This Year on Basketball and Ascension by Hanif Adarkhan.
Oh, yeah.
See it?
There we go.
But it's,
And
he's sitting
there
in a
we
basketball
go.
hoop.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. That's like the kids who are like, I'm sitting on top of a table or in a
Yes.
windowsill. Why? Because, all right.
Because comfortable. So this is writing about culture, writing about America through the lens of basketball. Specifically, so the author's from Ohio, basically kind of grew up with LeBron James. Like, they're from the same part of Ohio. They were born both in the late 80s. So he's talking about Ohio basketball, he's talking about LeBron, he's talking about the culture of basketball there, but then, like, expands on it and it, becomes a whole.
Cool.
Yes. This won quite a few awards when it came out, which was like just maybe 2 years ago. 2024, last year. So it is newer.
Nice.
It was very popular when it came out, so people may have already heard of it, but I just wanted to acknowledge that it is a basketball book, even though it's very poetic, very lyrical. Like, he is a poet, but also writes like cultural essays.
That's cool.
So yeah, and I think it's just funny, like, the different ways you can talk about ascension, like not only just like, LeBron rising up from this high school basketball player to the superstar he is today, but also thinking about like leaving your hometown, as LeBron did.
Yeah.
He went to go play in Miami, but also people like getting on planes and ascending and leaving, and do they come back? Who do they leave behind? Where do they go? So yeah, there's a lot of layers there. I have not read this one yet. I want to read it very badly, and may just take it home with me right now. Right now, I'm leaving work.
Right now. Bye.
But the way he has it set up is it's in 4 sections, so 4 quarters basically of a game, talking about place, talking about people, talking about leaving places and where you go. So I just think the whole form is very artistic, and very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like another thoughtful writer, through the lens of basketball.
A lot of people love basketball.
I love basketball.
Yeah, I know you do, actually.
It's funny because, like, there's a lot of sports that claim to be, baseball, America's pastime. We have American football. I think basketball is another, like, very American sport.
Yeah. I think so, too. It's kind of got, I think it is one of the main sports, or it's, like, the quintessential sports to, like, of American sports, but, like, it's quiet about it too.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's fairly accessible.
Yeah.
A basketball is not that expensive, and if you live, especially if you live in a city that has parks, like there are courts, and you can just play. You don't need a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
You don't need a certain arena or place to play it. Just play it.
And there's like a million games that you can do with a ball and a hoop.
Yeah. Right.
And like, who hasn't,
Yeah.
It's good times. Yeah, love that. All right, I'll go with the Avant-Gardes. This is a graphic novel series. They won the 2020 Great Graphic Novels for Teens Award from YALSA.
Cool.
Didn't know that until I read the top of that one. So good job, them. Well deserved. They're very fun. If you have read like Lumberjanes or Giant Days, or like the Backstagers, all of those are hilarious and so fun, and it's like college experience, and like teen experience, even though the situations are kind of ridiculous in their own way.
Yeah.
It's so so relatable. So this story follows Charlie, who is our main character, who's the one on top of the van there. So Charlie used to play basketball, I believe, in high school and was very well known for it, but for one reason or another, they are determined to put that away. So now they're just at college, the College for Arts and Subtle Dramatics, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yep. So she's like, I'm going there because they don't have sports. Well, bad news. During like the club, like fair where they're trying, all these clubs are like trying to recruit members because they're desperate for it. There is somebody who is trying to start a basketball team, and they're like, it's you. And she's like, no, it's not. And they're like, but it is you. And she's like, go away from me. So it's obviously she gets roped in, and it's a whole cast of just absolutely wacky characters.
Yeah.
Some who are absolutely great at basketball, and others who their skill in their mind depends on how well they hold their seance. It's just, it's silly, but it's very much like a found family, sort of like quirky cast of everything. Oh my goodness, they have a therapy dog drive. Like, look at them.
Yeah.
But they're just fun. They're a grand romp. And yeah, they go through, they have like in a relationship, things of like friendships and finding themselves, and it's all of that, but there's also some very fun basketball games in here as well.
And there's a whole league.
Yes.
And it's like community colleges.
Yeah.
Right. This is not D1 sports. This
No,
is
not at all. And this is like self-made league,
Yes.
really.
So for example, at the American Institute of Veterinary Curiosities, we have the Cuddly Retrievers.
Yes.
The Med Center College of Endocrinology has the Hormones.
All right,
The Royal Academy of Punk Rock, the Jets. They don't have a logo. Logos aren't punk.
Yeah, it actually says that.
The Academy of Specialty Coffees and Loose Leaf Teas, the Baristas. American Institute of Internet Influencers, the Selfies.
Yes.
The Hedy Lamarr School of Science, Technology, and Extreme Multitasking, Signals.
Yes.
And the City Culinary College of Desserts, Pastries, and Complimentary Bread Baskets, the Pick and Rolls.
Right.
And we also have the Giorgio. Oh yeah, this is the one. So the
And then-
Georgia O'Keeffe College of Arts and Subtle Dramatics. They're the avant-gardes.
The avant-gardes. So yeah, it's got really good humor to it. I feel like it also has like sort of the vibe of like roller derby.
Yeah, it's like roller derby, like the show Community. I feel like has that like funny humor of like we're just kind of some misfits.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a good time.
Yeah, that one play basketball.
Read them. Why not? Like, just enjoy life and read avant-garde.
I'm gonna talk about our other graphic novel.
Yes.
Similar but different. This one's called Blocked.
Yeah.
And as you'll see, there is a werewolf on the cover.
Which just makes it fun for me.
Because Cam is a high school senior who also is a werewolf.
Yes.
Just something about Cam.
Oh, and this one's new. That's why I haven't read it.
Yes.
It's new.
I just saw it on the shelf and I was like, we have to talk about this one. So Cam comes from a family of werewolves, a family of shifters. And his dad is very gruff and is very much that parent.
Oh, so like he always knew he was a werewolf.
Oh, yes.
Cool. Love that.
He's
Love
like, yes,
it.
I'm a werewolf.
Okay, cool.
And people know this about their family. They're like, yep.
Oh, so it's
they're
not
werewolves.
hidden either.
No.
Excellent.
The problem is he's struggling to control it on the court. When he gets angry, sometimes
he goes a little werewolfy.
he goes a little werewolfy. So you can see, maybe you can't see, but there's like sharp teeth in his mouth.
Let's see.
As he's like making his dunk.
Like, wow, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Lots of growling.
Yes. And his father will also werewolf out to be like, my son. My son has to be the best. I've trained you to be the best. He's like, but Dad, that's your dream.
That's a experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Added to that, we have Coach Damien, a new coach for the basketball team. He's also a shifter. he shifts into a panther.
Oh, I was gonna say it's gotta be a cat.
It's a cat.
It's a cat.
And so Cam is torn between my gruff dad, who's like, you will win at all costs. You are the superstar. Do your thing. And Coach, who's like, we're a team. I need us to work together and win as a team. And sometimes that means controlling our anger and like passing the ball to someone else.
Love it.
Letting them play.
Gonna
And it's like two warring versions of like what Cam sees as his future. Is this my future? Is this my future? How can should I work to control this part of me, or should I just let it all out?
Yeah.
Is there a way I can work with this part of me?
And it's like differing ideologies.
Yeah.
On like how to approach competition.
Yes.
And like there's a benefit to all of these different views. It's just like what's the levels?
What's the level? What is the time and the place for it? And I think too the art style is very fun. It's giving
it really
like
is. It reminds me of like Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yeah, that old style.
It's like just very colorful.
Like Cartoon Network.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's very fun.
Very fun, very
like
dynamic.
a little Johnny Bravo-ish.
Yes, yeah.
Like definitely he's like kind of hulking out. He's just like rawr.
Yeah.
So that's super fun. I will be skimming through that one.
Yeah, I thought that one was a lot of fun.
It is good. All right, what else we got?
What else do we got? I can't remember if we've talked about this one before. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, that's why. We've had a lot of class visits come in, and we've done so many book talks in person.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about it in person, but I can't remember if we talk about it here. So,
but I feel like this is a
talk
perfect
about
time
it
to talk about it here.
Yeah.
This is Inaugural Ballers, the true
Yes.
story of the first U.S. women's Olympic basketball team, which was in 1976, which is not that long ago.
No.
Let's just acknowledge we've only had a women's basketball team for like 50 years.
Yeah. It's been a good 50 years.
It's been great. In 1976, spoilers, we got the silver medal.
That's cool.
We lost to the USSR at the time.
Oh, all right, yeah.
But pretty much since then, we've gotten the gold medal. I think there was one other year that we did not. But yeah, the U.S. women have basically dominated the same way that the men have. As I said, basketball is a very American sport, and that is changing.
Including Paralympics too.
Yes. You know, this past Summer Olympics, we saw like there are other teams that are picking it up, and
the competition
have
is
started
getting
investing in basketball programs in other countries.
Yeah.
So it's getting more competitive. But yeah, 1976, the first Olympic team. The WNBA did not start until 1997, and we are now seeing, after 50 years of Olympics and 30 years of the WNBA, we are just kind of now seeing its popularity skyrocket. We talk about Caitlin Clark a lot, but like she came from somewhere, right? Like
there's a legacy.
In a vacuum. People have to be inspired. But yeah, this is just a fun nonfiction story of how they found the women to be on this team. Like some colleges had women's basketball programs, not all, and they were all kind of some funded, some not so much.
Right.
This team was not really funded. It was kind of just like a sure, fine, we'll let those girls play. We'll see what they do. And because they did so well, they were like, oh.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sure.
One of my favorite little tidbits from it is that the 1976 team had jerseys with numbers, and we have kept not the literal jerseys, but like we have kept those same numbers. And so you can, at the end of the book, it shows the number of the jersey and the players who have worn that number since 1976.
Cool.
So you can see, like, one of my favorite players, Candace Parker, wore 15. Brittany Griner also wore it. Susan McConnell also wore it. You can see, like, the players who wore the
really
number.
Cool. So it's like tangible history too.
Yes. Yeah. And so there's a picture at the end of the 2020 team.
Yeah.
Which played in 2021 in Tokyo, and then so they've got the numbers of the 1976 team.
Yeah, so this goes all the way till like just then. So
Yeah.
it does not include the most recent Olympic Games.
No, this was published in 2022, so yeah, it includes stuff from 2021, but
Yeah, that's so cool.
first
Love
team.
it.
Yeah.
That's really neat. Yeah, that one's on my to-read list. I need to look and see if we've got an audiobook of that one because I bet it would be great.
Yeah.
But this would be a great one too if you prefer audiobooks. I do. I am able to concentrate better with them. This would be a good one to check out the actual physical book along with it because there are so many images and additional charts and things.
Charts. It's got like all the scores from that season.
Yeah.
Just like a timeline of women's sports in America and like, you know, we didn't let women run the marathon until like 1984 because we thought that, you know, your uterus was going to fall into your body. So it's just like, it's wild that it's like, that's so far away, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
That is very recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly. It's just sometimes where it's like women can't ride trains, their uterus will be back there.
Yes.
And that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great one. And I know that it reads very well too.
Reads fast, and I bet it listens like a podcast.
Oh, I bet it does. And like it just looks like it would be so good. This is also one that we have pitched to and handed to middle schoolers as well.
Yeah.
So that does not mean that like the terminology is, you know, youthful. It just means that it's accessible.
Yeah.
So there's still
especially like I am a fan of basketball, but like I don't know. Like this was easy for me to read and be like, yes, I understand this. I know.
Basically, what I'm saying is that my basketball education is like.
You could do worse.
I could do worse.
You could do worse.
Like,
I think those are great.
Yeah, you know, do things in an accessible way that works for you.
Yeah.
All right.
We have one left.
One more.
What would a basketball book buffet be without a basketball romance?
I'm proud of you for saying basketball book buffet.
Basketball book buffet.
It was good.
This is called One-on-One. It's another new book. So cute. If love is a game, they're playing to win.
Ooh, let's go.
Let me just read the description here. 8 years after graduation, Annie Radford is not happy to be back at her alma mater in her old job with the Ardwin Tigers basketball team. Worse, her coworker from college, Ben Callahan, is still on the Tiger staff, and he's annoyingly wholesome, hot, and clinging to a grudge against Annie for abandoning him and the team during their senior year. But as Ardwin becomes the season's Cinderella story, things start heating up between Annie and Ben. And while neither of them can deny they could have something special, Annie's afraid to tell Ben the truth about why she left basketball, the thing she loves most, in the first place. She'll have to learn to trust him if they have a shot at being together. In addition to being funny, romantic, and sexy, One-on-One examines the pressure put on college athletes, challenges the sexism in the world of sports, and exposes the dangers of whole communities idolizing the big men on campus. This is the perfect workplace enemies to lovers story for anyone yearning for a courtside romance.
Very fun.
So yeah, we got some tropes in there. We've got workplace romance, slight enemies to lovers. Some reviews were like, they were never really enemies. They were kind of like friends / rivals / misunderstood each other.
Sure. But it's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
A little bit of a second chance. Like nothing happened when they were in school together, but like now they're reunited.
Nice.
So yeah.
And I do see this one's a new one. It's also shelved in adult romance.
Yes.
Do we know potential spiciness?
It is not like 5 chili peppers spicy, but
there are some chili peppers.
But there are some chili peppers.
So something to take into consideration to figure out if this is a book for you.
Yes.
I think it's important to know the chili pepper rating for a romance novel nowadays.
They are adults, and they may engage in some adult activity.
They may, and that's good for if that's what you want, and if it's not, that's okay too. It's good to know.
It's good to know.
It's good to know. Yeah. That's very fun. Yeah, it's kind of always the enemies to lovers or like rivals to lovers is always a very fun trope. The workplace ones are also kind of fun sometimes too. So, but then also it's like, but why did she stop? like what drove her away from basketball that she loves.
Yeah.
You know, like what could it be?
Yeah,
So.
and I think because it's a college basketball team that they're the staff of, so now's kind of the perfect time.
Yeah.
College basketball.
Why not? You know, this is the way to go about it. I mean, this is certainly published at the right time.
Yeah.
When everybody's talking
Someone
about
knew.
basketball. Someone knew. So, yeah, those are the fun times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
a
that's pretty much
small
what we've
selection
done.
of
Just
basketball books.
I mean, we usually go through significantly more books
We do.
overall, but these are
That's what we got.
some fun ones.
And a good way to show that, like, basketball books can be romance. Basketball
Yep.
books can be
They can.
poetry.
Yeah,
This
and
was not actual poetry, but we do have those. We
Right,
have,
yeah, we do.
I thought about grabbing one.
oh
of
yeah,
those.
like crossover and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite a few of
Novels.
those. But we've talked about the crossover before. If you're like, yeah, but I wish they were all in one place. Hey, good news.
We have a display.
We have a display. And we only grabbed some of them.
Yes, there's way more on the display.
Way more. So feel free to pop over to the Addison Public Library. I know we've got one in the teen area right now. Do you know if we've got any in the other spots?
I don't know if the adult had one for March Madness at all. They might have.
I don't know. They got a really cool outer space one though.
Yeah.
That I may or may not have gotten distracted staring at that poster.
Yeah.
Because I really like space.
But, you know, we have the librarians here who will
Yeah, we'll find you
definitely
stuff.
Find you what you need.
And if you want to like see where these are exactly, we have the catalog, which Purple Mod popped into the chat earlier today. So feel free to go into there and see where that is. And let's see, there's also, if you want to see more about the Media Madness that we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, we put all of those items in one very handy dandy list, so you could see what's available. Yes, thank you. There's the catalog link again as well. So you can check out those links and see what these additional things are, and we'll go from there. And then again, remember, let's do this. How about we do this thing? So remember that the matchups are Astrobot versus Kendrick Lamar. If you're watching right now, you can vote for who you think should win. We're on our final matchup. This is it. Just between these two powerhouses of media content. So you can vote. And you can also join us in person on Tuesday. That is going to be our next stream. It is going to be Tuesday at 4:30 during our Let's Play. And we're going to be playing the Untitled Goose Game on a really fun day of April 1st. But we will first announce who the winner is on Twitch there.
The for-real winner.
The for-real winner, the winner above all. Will it be Astrobot? Will it be Kendrick Lamar? Will it not be a surprise to some of us? Will it be a surprise to all of us? We do not know. We're very excited to find out. So, yeah, and I hope to see you at the Let's Play with us. I do think that we're going to skip next week's book buffet, though. It is spring break at the school. Next week, and we're taking advantage of it.
Also, little break.
Yeah, we're taking advantage of the middle schoolers not hanging out at the library for a little bit, and we're gonna take some time to rest, as we should. All right. Well, I hope you all are having a wonderful day and have a continuously wonderful day. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see.
That's baseball.
That's baseball.
What do you say before basketball?
I don't know. Go game.
Get ready.
Go team.
That's wrestling.
Let's get ready to rumble. No.
I mean, there's the
Go gadget. I have no idea.
Slam dunk.
All right. Bye, everyone.